Connecting the community through gospel. The new 980 AM WDDO Perry Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
I call y'all. Help. Thank you, gentlemen. Well. Good afternoon, and welcome once again to this week and to wonderful weather and to good friends and change in the air. We want to welcome you to Ask Elaine. Thank you so much. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, welcoming you to the program. We have a special in-studio guest who's going to come in just a little bit, and he's going to be telling us about some special things that you can be involved in this weekend. And so we just want you to hang in there with us, and we appreciate you being there with us this hour every week. And then next week, it's going to be as exciting as this week because we've got a lot of other events coming up. But I want you to put on your calendar Saturday, which is our only Saturday early voting day. And we want you to know that there's a coalition of people who have put together a pep rally at Central City Park, which used to be which is now Carolyn Creighton Park, used to be Central City Park. And the senior center is located in Central City Park, Carolyn Creighton Park, and it is one of the early voting sites. And so you can go there and vote today, tomorrow, Friday, and then Saturday. And then we have a whole nother week of early voting. And so people are really using it. But when people go to this pep rally, they can leave and walk across the park there to the Senior Citizen Center, and you can vote on Saturday. You could vote Friday. You could vote tomorrow if you like. But if you want to vote, then that's the site. And then you could also take part in the pep rally. And the motorcade that's going to lead into it will leave the Hutchings, of the former Hutchings Career Center. And there will be a motorcade safe because it will be led by sheriff's deputies from the traffic division. And our special guest is going to come in and tell us all about that, and then issue an invitation, special invitation to some of our citizens, especially some of our younger folks, to come in and to take part. In that, there'll be food, there'll be something to drink, there will be entertainment, just all kinds of things. So we've got a really, really great weekend that's in store for you. And then I understand there's going to be another fantastic celebration over at the Board of Elections. There's a group of organizations, the Links, Georgia Women, and the League of Women Voters, and another group will be over there, and they will have food and water and other kinds of things, music going on. And they are inviting you to take part over there in that Saturday's celebration and come over there and vote. And also, the third location is the Theron Ussery Park, which used to be called the Macon North Macon Park. It was renamed for Theron Ussery. It was my pleasure to introduce that resolution and to have it passed to rename North Macon Park as the Theron Ussery Park. And so those are the three locations. There are things going on. If you have events that are going on that you'd like to tell us about, if you will call us at 478 250 1444, we will be happy to have you to tell us about it very briefly, because we do have a number of people who are supposed to call in on today to share with us some of the things that they have going on. But we want to say hello to Cynthia Cersei, who is always watching, and we're on live. The Glory is back. WDDO 980 AM, historic. WDDO is back. The Glory is back. And we want to thank them for being so cordial to us, for allowing us to bring Ask Elaine back at the Wednesday 3 to 4 p.m. time that we had gotten so used to, and that you as listeners had gotten so used to. We want to give a big shout out to Dr. Glover, Dr. Beverly Glover, and also to Dr. Walter Glover. They are two of Macon's finest folks, so we want to give a big shout out to them. We also want to thank all of those people who have gone to vote. I think there are about 15,000 people who have voted already, and this is just wonderful. But we've got to continue voting. There are 105,000 registered voters in Macon-Bibb County. 105,000. And so 15,000 might sound like a lot, but it's really not when you compare it to 105,000. So we've got a long way to go. We got a lot of absentee ballots that are being mailed in, and we encourage you to please, if you have an absentee ballot that you have received, would you go ahead and vote? Follow all your instructions. Vote, put it in the little white envelope, seal it up, then put it in the yellow and white envelope, seal that up, sign your name on the flap of that envelope there, put a stamp on it, drop it in the mail, or take it with no postage required to one of the two drop boxes that we have in Macon-Bibb. One is out in front of the Board of Elections, 2525 Pioneer Avenue, and the other one is in downtown in front of the federal building, the federal courthouse. Which also houses the post office. It is down there. So would you please, those who are listening on radio and those who have us on Facebook Live, would you please go and take care of your civic responsibility and get this clown out of office? The only way we can do it is to get you to go vote. Now, he came in here spreading corona last Friday. I understand that his son is supposed to be coming in here, and it's just the biggest old mess. Well, you know what folks say, it's just a hot mess. Why would he come in here? And the location that I understand he's going to be is a congested area. You've got the Secret Service that are involved. It may just be a rumor, but I have heard from a reliable source that indeed Don Jr. is going to be coming in here. And I guess he wants to bring all the rednecks and racists and Nazis and everybody from all over Central Georgia, because that's what you had out there at Middle Georgia Regional Airport. And I hope they sanitize that place after all those folks were packed up in there. And then that nut, half-raised Representative Vernon Jones was out there, had everybody lifting him up in the air, having him crowd surfing. They had him up in the air just like a roasted turkey, floating, had him floating all across people. They putting their hands all over him, and he was grinning like he was enjoying it. I guess he was, but I was embarrassed. I was just totally embarrassed. And I wonder, did he see that Herman Cain attended something like that? And Herman Cain had some pre-existing illnesses, and Herman Cain is dead. Herman Cain got COVID from that rally where Trump spoke, where folks were packed together, and he died. And Vernon Jones, who is a black state representative, I don't know how he continues to get elected. Maybe there's a group of folks just like him who vote for him. I don't know what it is, but members of the Black Caucus just don't fool with him. They don't have anything to do with him. They just say he's crazy, but he's dangerously crazy, dangerously, dangerously ill. And he does a disservice because there are some weak-minded people who may listen to him, and everybody has some relatives and some, got some cousins, some uncles, some people who will listen to you. Plus, they're throwing a lot of money around too. The Republicans have always tried to buy elections, and this one is no different. And you've got the sheriff's race here locally where they're trying to buy the election. They're trying to convince some people that a Republican can do a better job than a Democrat whose head is on straight. I say no, no. So that is why we've endorsed Sheriff David Davis for re-election to the sheriff's department. He has widespread support from Republicans and Democrats who know what good law enforcement is, who knows that we have a proactive uh, uh, public safety arm, and that we don't need to change this horse in the middle of the stream. I'm not willing to do that. That's one of the good things about government. So we need to keep Sheriff David Davis in place. But I'm just saying to you, the Republicans are desperate. They are losing. All the polls are showing that they're losing. And the poll that really counts is the one where you use your feet to walk in there and cast your ballot. And they're being disappointed because they're seeing so many people. But we cannot take it for granted. Everybody who's registered, go vote. Don't wait until election day. Go vote early. Go on in there, take your time. If you have a sample ballot, take it with you. That is allowed. If you need some help, you can have somebody standing there with you that helps you. And then the folks in the polling places are required. If you have a question, then you ask that question. They are required to give you the answer and assist you with your voting. If you say, well, where's this name? They're supposed to show it to you. Or you can take mama, daddy, sister, brother, auntie, whomever it is, or you can go with your relatives and you can help them with their voting. All you have to do is to fill out the part and sign that says you're helping, you're assisting somebody. We've got a call. Good afternoon, ask Elaine. Good afternoon, ask Elaine. Good afternoon, ask Elaine.
Hey, Commissioner. I'm here.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing just great. How are you?
Great. Commissioner Tillman here.
Yes, sir. I'm Mayor Pro
Well,
Tem. What do you need to tell us today?
well, we want people to be vigilant and the people to know that, there is a strong rumor that Donald Trump Jr. is trying to use his huge testicles to come into a predominantly black neighborhood, Democratic market. And this community should not be fooled or tricked and don't get in trouble with these nuts. We got to march and go to the polls, and
That's
we
right.
appreciate you and others for making it happen. If we're gonna be mad and upset, let's be mad and get to the polls.
That's right. That's right. Now,
Yeah.
whatever happens, we don't need to give them an opportunity to film us cutting a fool. And then they use that as a campaign ad to store up these redneck racists who want any excuse to exploit stuff. So you are right. Now, why would he choose his daddy was just in here spreading corona. Now he comes back and he's rumored to be coming. So why would he come back?
Well, Commissioner, I think it's a desperate act on the Republicans that we're setting a number of record uh, early voting, a number of folks going to the polls, which we have not seen in recent time and recent years. And
Yeah.
so people out there, y'all need to be a part of this history making event. And we're going to send Donald Trump packing. People
Yeah.
need to understand Donald Trump is not fighting for the presidency. He is fighting to stay out of jail because he's
Yeah.
going to jail as soon as he leaves office.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I thank you, and I'll continue to listen and be blessed.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. And that is just good advice. Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem.
All right, take care.
All right. That was Mayor Pro Tem Al Tillman calling to warn us that we don't need to be foolish. If Don Jr., who has less sense than his daddy has not too much, and then the children have less than he has. That's why he wouldn't turn the business over to him. I don't think I would have turned it over either, because he lost and went bankrupt a bunch of times. So what do you think those dumb sons and others would do? But anyway, anyway, I just call it like I see it. They don't have a lot of intellect, but they're cunning. They're sly like foxes. And you know what foxes do in hen houses. So we know not to trust them. Anything that they do is ill conceived, it's vicious, it's intended to bring out the worst in people. So if you know that Don Jr. is going to be in Macon, Georgia, ignore the visit. Please ignore the visit, because what they want to do is to have a scene that they can film showing violence taking place and then say, oh, look at what these people are doing. And they want to use that to encourage others to get out and vote. And we certainly don't need that. If you're white and you're living in a shotgun house, and there's somebody talking about taking away your food stamps and your whatever it is you have, your little social security or whatever you have, seems like you would have sense enough to know that you don't need to be supporting Trump. But many of the people who are supporting him are your least educated folks who really are not thinking. So we're going to leave that for now because our special guest has arrived. We're going to let him introduce himself. This is someone that I've admired for a long time. He's an educator. He's just a smart young man, and when I say smart, I mean smart. Just a go getter, a motivator. He is one who is just a leader, a young leader, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with as we go through these times. We need folks like you to continue the leadership, because now I only have one more term to serve on the commission. I'm term limited. With consolidation they limited the terms, so this is my third and final term on the commission. Not that I'm anybody's salvation, but I will speak out for you, and I will come to you and let you know the plots and evil schemes that are going on around us. I will let you know, and everybody doesn't do that. But we're going to need to have some people who are unafraid. What was it Shirley Chisholm said? Unbossed, yeah, unbowed. And so I just take her as an example. And I'm like Harriet Tubman. Um, uh, Harriet Tubman is my ideal. She's the kind who kept going, just kept going, just kept going. And what was it? She said, I freed so many thousands, and I could have freed some more if they had just known they were slaves. And so we've got a lot of people that just don't know that they're slaves. They've got their house and their car and all of this, and they think they have arrived. But when you look at what you have, as compared to what you could have had you not been discriminated against or held back or ill educated, then it would make you want to holler. Somebody said make you want to holler. But our special guest today is Mr. Dominique Nichols. And I'm going to let him tell you about himself, and then he's going to tell you about his brainchild, a very, very wonderful event that's going on. And those of you who are on Facebook Live, hi. It's always good to have you there. We have Mabel Randall, Reverend Randall, who says, "Amen, Commissioner. Tell it like it is." Okay, people, listen to Commissioner. I like that lady. And then she says, "Yes, we will." So I take it that she was amening something that I said. And we already spoke to Cynthia Cersei, who is usually on as well. So it is just great to be on the station, to be here, to have people listening, and also to be on Facebook Live so people can actually see, and then they can replay this entire program. I just enjoy doing it so much. Welcome to Ask Elaine.
Well, thank you so much, Commissioner. I'm excited about the opportunity to share with you today. I'm excited about the opportunity to share with your listeners. As Commissioner Lucas said, my name is Dominique Nichols, and I am an educator here in the Bibb County School District. I am greatly fortunate to be the Freshman Academy Coordinator at Westside High School, but I'm also a minister here in Macon at Universal Light Christian Center, where my pastor is Pastor Gail Talbot Smith.
Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
Shiro.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And I'm also a brother of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And the reason I mention the fraternity is because my fraternity is in support of the event that we are discussing. And there's so many other things I could say, like where I went to school and all of that.
You can tell us all that.
Yeah, well, I'm a Fort Valley State University graduate. I'm a proud alum of the Fort Valley State University.
Yes.
But the main thing that I am here to discuss today is our Mobilized Millennials Parade to the Polls that we are hosting on Saturday, October 24th, this coming Saturday, where we are encouraging the civic engagement of people in my generation and the generation behind me, the Generation Z, where 35% of the electorate is made up of millennials.
35%.
35%. And you, as an educator and as a commissioner, I know that you are always looking at data.
Yeah.
35% is a critical mass. It's 35% can really dictate some movement in one way or another. So if we exercise our right to vote, and if we use the voice that we have been given, but not only the voice we've been given, but the voice that was fought for by our ancestors, and that's even being fought for to be protected in the present day, then we can effect the change that we want to see in our local community, as well as our state and our nation, and of course our world. And it starts with us making sure that we're educated and making sure that we are making informed and educated decisions, and that we're using our voice. You know the story. I've told it to you several times, but I'll share it with your listeners. A few weeks ago, I had an idea. I was texting a group of young men that I had the opportunity to teach when they were in high school, who are now all in college. And I was encouraging them, saying, "Hey, y'all, need y'all to make sure y'all vote." And then the conversation went further. I said, "Well, hold on, I need to make sure you all are registered to vote." And some of them actually weren't registered at the time, but I was able to give them the information that they needed, and they did register to vote. And then I said, okay, I've told them register. I've told them I want them to vote. But then I said, what if I get them all to come home from school and we all just go to the polls together? And so I had that idea, and I was fine with it being that. I was fine with me and those 10 young men that I have great relationships with, just taking them to the polls with me, and their parents knowing and saying, all right, we voted. But the conversation, the idea just kept building. So I called my principal, Mr. Horton, Michael Horton at Westside, and I said, hey, what if we have something where we encourage the seniors to participate in voting? And if they participate, they have the opportunity maybe to get some extra credit. It's a safe way for us to put our eyes on the kids. We haven't seen them in a while. And we can do a motorcade to the polls. He said, I love it. He said, that's a good idea. got off the phone with him, and my mind kept turning. And then I said, why just West Side students? So I called him back, and the conversation just built. And then I called my pastor, and my pastor has a unique way of asking you questions that will make you broaden your scope. So
she's like a daddy in that way.
So I called her, and she answered. I said, preacher, I got a vision, and I need your help with it. She said, okay. And so I told her what I had, and she said, well, she said, I think that's a beautiful idea. She said, but what if? And she started asking me some questions that helped me just open my mind and open my eyes even further. And she suggested some people I called. She said, you need to call the Lucases. She said, you need to call Juwan Jackson. Juwan Jackson just recently was elected to the school board for Bibb County School District, and he's my fraternity brother and chapter president, but his father attends our church. So she said, you should call him. And then I called you. And you said, okay. Well, actually, I didn't call you. I reached out to you, and I was sitting in the parking lot of EL High School Academy, and I said, I'm just going to call her and see if she's in there. And if she's in there, I'm going to go on in. But when I called Brother Jackson, he told me about one of our fraternity brothers who was hosting an event at Central City Park or the Carolyn Creighton Park on October 24th. And as I told you before, the dots just started connecting.
They connect.
When he said that he was hosting a tailgate or early voting pep rally by Mobilize Mercer right there next to the Elaine H. Lucas Senior Center, I said, oh, the dots are connecting. So I was able to speak with you. I called Pastor Paul Little of Bibb Mount Zion. Of course, Mr. Horton was on board, and Elisha Scott, who was a local educator here. And it just kept building and kept building, and I'm excited. So on Saturday, this coming Saturday, we will meet at 11 o'clock on Riverside Drive at what many of you may know as the old Hutchings building, the old Hutchings Career Center, but it's the Martin Whitley Educational Complex is what it's formerly known as now, which is 2011 Riverside Drive. We're going to meet there at 11 o'clock, and we are going to be escorted by a sheriff, a deputy sheriff, down from the Riverside Drive location down to the Carolyn Creighton Park, where we will get in line to cast our early vote at the Elaine H. Lucas Senior Center. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are going to cast our vote, and then there's going to be an event going on concurrently. So as we're getting in line, we'll see the event going on, and when we finish voting, we can go over and enjoy the festivities of the early voting pep rally. There are so many different partners involved in it. I can't even list all of the names, but Mobilize Mercer is the organization that's hosting that. Austin Rayford, who's one of my fraternity brothers and employee at Mercer, is going to be leading that work along with so many other great people. We're going to have some prizes. The MLK Commission has furnished some prizes along with the Mercer University Residence Hall Association. We are inviting individuals to decorate their cars, and when they come, the three best decorated cars will be able to get a cash prize or a gift card prize, but it's money. $200 for first place, $100 for second, $50 for third. We're also going to have a small supply of T-shirts that we're going to use to give away to some of those early attendees. And then also for everyone who participates, at your suggestion just the other evening, we're going to have some wristbands. We're going to have wristbands in different high school colors. So if current high school students come, or if high school graduates want to participate, we'll have their colors. And then also just a general color of red and blue for our nation. So I'm excited.
Let's see who's calling.
Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Ask Elaine.
Hi, it's Nikki and Jerome.
How are you?
We are good.
Okay, this is another event that's going to be going on, and these folks are going to tell us about it. Welcome to Ask Elaine.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, tell us all about your event. We're just full of wonderful things happening in Macon-Bibb County, and we're just so excited. I had the pleasure of working with you two a month or so ago on an event where you gave back to the community, gave backpacks and food and just all kinds of things. So tell everybody who you are, and then tell us what the event will be that they can also participate in.
Okay, well, I'm Nikki Durham, and this event is not with Peach State, but I do work for Peach State Health Plan. I'm the Community Relations Coordinator for South Atlanta as well as some of Central, which is Macon. But this event is with my partner, Jerome Finney, the owner of Sun Valley Barbershop. So what we're doing this weekend, we're having a balloon release for breast cancer awareness. Jerome, you want to go ahead and speak a little bit about the event as well?
Hello.
Hey, Jerome, how are you?
All right, how you doing?
Doing great, doing great. Nikki says she wants you to go ahead and talk a little bit about the event.
Well, it was a great idea. I think to give a dedication to everyone that's in the community and our families and in close proximity, to just give a dedication to those who fought the fight of breast cancer.
Right.
And we'll be having a lot of prizes out there. We'll be doing raffles. We'll actually have a balloon release to where we'll be remembering some of our relatives. This event I thought about due to my mom's oldest sister. She passed away 10 years ago to breast cancer. So this is my baby. It's really dear to my heart for us to do this.
Yeah.
So we're really passionate about this event, and it starts at 2:00. It's from 2 to 4. And please come out. We do have a lot of nice giveaways for everyone.
Yeah, there are a lot of families that have dealt with and are dealing with breast cancer. And we want folks to know that not only ladies get breast cancer, but men can also have breast cancer. So I know a lot of you didn't know that, but that is, and we just officially proclaimed October in Macon-Bibb County as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Not only through the Board of Health that I sit on, but also through the Macon-Bibb Commission. We adopted that on last evening. And what I probably will do is to ask our Mayor Pro Tem, who was on a call earlier, if he would come and maybe read and present that document, that proclamation in honor of breast cancer awareness, or if he's unavailable, then I will try and do it myself. But we've got several events that are going on. What is the time of the balloon release?
The balloon release, the event starts at 2:00. We will be doing the balloon release at 3:30.
Okay, that works really great, because the event that we were talking about with Mr. Nichols, who's in the studio, that's from, what is the time that
the parade will line up at 11, pull out at 11:30, and the tailgate will be going on from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay, so that will be good time, and then those that want to come to the breast cancer awareness balloon release could then come and take part with that. I certainly do want to make all of those events because y'all have just been so supportive. And then we have another event that we're going to talk about next week. That is a breast cancer awareness event that's going to take place in the Northeast Plaza Shopping Center. It will be on the 31st. And we have an opportunity for 100 people to receive information and gifts and food and all kinds of stuff. But what we want is for people to come on the 24th. Tell us the location.
It will be at Sun Valley Barbershop at 3422 Jeffersonville Road.
Okay. All right. So everybody's on notice, and we have lots and lots of listeners to this Ask Elaine program. And then we're on Facebook Live. So we are just so happy that this number of people, this information, that we can get it out to as many people as we are. And thank you to both of you for all that you do for the community.
You are so welcome. You are so welcome, and thank you so much for having us here today.
All right. Would you tell us one more time the organization that you're associated with?
Yes. Well, I work for Peach State Health Plan.
Okay.
This event will not be with Peach State this weekend. Now, next weekend, our event, we are partnering with you, Ms. Lucas, and that will be with Peach State Health Plan.
Okay.
This event this weekend is what Jerome and I's baby. We have a community outreach organization that we have now.
Okay.
So where we're different families with different resources that we have in the community. So that will be with the Sun Valley Outreach Program that we're working on right now. So yes.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Thank you both so very much for calling in. And we will see you Saturday at 2.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Okay, so that people are just getting so busy. There's so many things going on. Tell us about your freshman academy.
So at Westside High School, we have, this is our second year of the freshman academy. We have really worked to make sure that we are providing our freshmen the supports that they need in order to successfully matriculate throughout the high school experience.
Because it is that year that we lose so many. They're moving from middle school, kinda, sorta, to high school. There's the pressure of the upper class students. There's the pressure within themselves, the bodily changes and emotional changes, family things going on, and they're expected to be a little more mature than maybe they are at this time. So that's wonderful to have that.
And they're leaving that structure of middle school and kind of just released into the big pond or the big sea that high school is. And we wanted to give them that bridge of support because we want to teach you how to be a high schooler. We want to teach you how to be successful. High school is that time where all the way up through 8th grade, it was essentially just, do the work. You may pass, you may fail, but you might still end up getting promoted. But in high school, we got to teach them about the whole credits situation and that you have to earn these credits. So you really need to take it seriously. And then just teaching them some social emotional things that they need, conflict resolution. And so we have it has been fun. It has been a hard work, but not a hard in a negative way, to really get in front of it, because the main reason for it was looking at our grad rate and looking at our CCRPI, of course, which is the score that the state gives us based on certain accountability measures, and seeing that we needed to, instead of waiting until maybe the 11th grade or the 12th grade to try to get in front of some things and respond to some things, we wanted to go ahead and proactively give the students the support that they needed. And this is following great work that was done at Westside High School by our former principal, Dr. Julia Danley. She did a lot of work with Twilight Academy and different things of that sort. And so we wanted to translate that work a little further and get in front of some of it with the freshmen and give them the supports that they needed so that they could be on top of their game. So it's been a great work, and we've seen some significant
I know you have. Let me remind everybody, if you've just tuned in, you're listening to or viewing on Facebook Live, Ask Elaine. This is your weekly talk and information program. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, and I welcome you to the program. And thank you so much for your loyalty, for your support, for your prayers, for all the things that you do to keep us going. I know that people pray for me and for my family, because we could not have made it through a lot of the storms that we've dealt with had it not been for the prayers of people in this community. So we are so grateful. We want to say hello to all of you who are listening. Don't forget that we have the Ask Elaine fan club buttons. We have them in our office at EL High School Academy. We want to say hello to Joyce Gray Humphrey, who is our super volunteer who's in our office today. Those of you who wish to pick up campaign materials, we have Biden Harris signs. We have Sheriff David Davis signs and t-shirts. All of these are free for you to pick up. We have 2 weeks before the election. Yesterday, 2 weeks from yesterday, for the election, and people are really turning out. But we want to have some visible signs in the community where people will know that there's an election going on, because there's some people that are so into what they're doing, work or family issues, or trying to prevent getting COVID and all of this. They are not thinking about this, but we want you to be aware. So if you want a campaign sign, you want David Davis for sheriff, if you want Biden, Harris, and by the way, there's a debate tomorrow evening, and I surely do want everybody to watch that. I'm going to watch and see if, first of all, Trump shows up, and then I want to see how Biden chews him up and spits him out, because you cannot win a debate if you're talking over and shouting and yelling and spitting and spreading corona all over everybody. I know they're going to have shields and things up and all of that, but your president didn't even want to have any shields up. He wanted to be able to tell them what questions to ask and what not to ask. And I guess he wanted to ask the questions and answer them, and then tell Biden he couldn't answer. He even wants his attorney general to bring charges against Biden. He's still stuck on Hillary Clinton, too. He wants his attorney general to go and start messing with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton lost the election to him. Unfortunately, this world would have been so much different. Just think, 4 years. But anyway, luckily the Lord kept us, and we made it through. And so all you have to do is to do your part. Please watch that debate, and then call us next week and let us know what you thought of it, what points you thought were made. See if you are convinced of who's the better person to lead our country and to become the spokesperson for the United States of America, and to bring us back to that level of confidence and integrity and honor that the United States has always had. I'm embarrassed now, because I know that other countries that are nowhere near as great as we are looking at us and laughing at us every time our president does something or says something, or says lock somebody up, or he gets the virus and then he goes parading with the poor Secret Service guys sitting up in there. I know they were just like a little cat or dog with their hands up on the window talking about, please, please let me out of here. How can you do that to people? This man is not human. He is not human. I tell you, I guarantee he is not human. He has no human emotions. His own son got the virus, and he said not a word about, my son is doing better. He's getting treatment. He just went into the hospital and got everything that he could get for himself, and then walked around spreading it all over everywhere. Even his wife is still, she's concerned, she's still coughing, I understand. But at least she has sense enough to stay away from people, and they keep the son away from everybody. Then half of the staff got it. So all of that's just a shame. But you need to be looking at that. And if you have somebody that is talking about supporting Trump, please do your best to convince them that that is not the way to go. So stay on top of everything, know what's going on. If you're not sure of something, ask somebody that you trust. Ask your minister, ask the minister's wife, ask some of the deacons, ask some of us who are public servants. Ask somebody, and we will be glad to assist you in making your decisions. And those of you who have a sample ballot, you may take your sample ballot to your voting booth and open your sample ballot and then transfer your choices to your machine. That is legal to do. Don't be afraid or intimidated by that. That's your paper. That's your sample ballot. That's why they have sample ballots, for you to have your candidates all chosen, and you bring it with you to quickly make your choices on the machine. So I hope I've answered some of the questions that people have about some of these kinds of things. We really want to have a wonderful turnout of voters. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in to Ask Elaine today. This hour goes so fast, Dominique. It just goes so very fast. And we try to get a lot of information out there. Before I get back to you and you kind of review the whole program that's going to be going on this weekend, I want to thank our sponsors, EL High School Academy, the Middle Georgia Informer, that's one of our partners. They run our ads, and we tell you you need to get the latest edition of it. Ms. Cornelia Walker is the publisher. Now it was started by Herbert Denard, and he ran it for like 30 years and then sold it to Miss Walker, who has kept it going and does a fine job. Mayor C. Jack Ellis, former mayor, is one of our sponsors. Your own Senator David Lucas of the 26th District, who has served us for 45 years in the state legislature. Glory Baking Company, we want to thank them. The Glory Baking Company will no longer have its location out at the farmers market. They're closing down the events venue, but Beverly will still be available to make your cakes. So y'all check Glory Baking Company on Facebook and your mouth will just water. I'm going to bring Vertice and the Bishop some more cupcakes. We were supposed to get some today. I thought Sheriff David Davis is also a sponsor of Ask Elaine. So we want to thank all of them for helping to keep this on the air. And we want to do a shout out to my pastor, Reverend Livonia Franklin Jr. We want to wish the First Lady, Sister oh goodness, Sandra, excuse me, First Lady Sandra Franklin, a happy birthday. And we're going to be celebrating that this weekend when we do our drive-in church. But we want to salute my pastor because he does a feeding program at the church. They do full dinners for over 100 homeless, usually homeless or hungry people every Tuesday or Wednesday. And if you check Facebook, you will see pictures from that. And we are happy at EL High School to provide water under our student water project, where they donate water for community service, and we donate it to charitable activities going on in the community. So thank you, EL High School students, and thank you, Reverend Franklin. He is our spotlight minister for this week. Ta-da! I got to get a little bell or something. They got a Bertisa and those have to get me a little bell or something, But anyway, let's get back. Thank you so much for being my special in-studio guest today. Our in-studio guest is Reverend Dominique Nichols, and he's going to recap for you the special event that's going to be taking place on Saturday morning, the 24th, this coming Saturday morning. So
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again. We are having Mobilize the Millennials parade to the polls this Saturday, October 24th. We are going to start our lineup at 11 a.m. on 2011 Riverside Drive. That's the Martin Whitley Education Complex that some of us may know as the old Hutchings building. Some of us may know as the Bibb County PLC or Welcome Center. And even if you don't know it as those things, the building next to Red Lobster on Riverside.
Yeah, they know it that way.
We'll be meeting there at 11, and we're going to pull off in a motorcade style, escorted by a sheriff's deputy down to the Elaine Lucas Senior Center, where we will be casting our early vote. We are really reaching to members of the millennial generation and Generation Z, but we say come one, come all. We welcome everyone to join this line. I want to see a massive line. I'd like for the line to be a mile long.
We're calling
if we can
the
get
deltas.
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
calling the alphas.
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
calling AKAs.
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
calling Sigma Gamma Rho. We're calling Sigmas. We're calling the Qs.
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
calling the Kappas.
Yes, ma'am.
We're
calling the Zetas.
The Zetas. Oh Lord, don't let me leave.
And if we have any IOTAs
And
in the
if we have,
community, call you.
yes, we're calling everybody. We're calling all of the Masonic organizations,
Yes.
Eastern Stars, the Masons, all of you. If you want to take part, just show up. Just show up. The NAACP, I talked with Gwen Westbrook, and so Westbrooks, and they are going to try and get some folks involved in it. And of course, the Martin Luther King Commission.
Yes, ma'am.
Our members have been notified and are very happy to provide the second and third place prizes. We've authorized that already, and we'll be there. And then the Pedestrian Safety Review Board, we have invited them to take part in it as well. So there are a lot of folks who are supporting this event, and congratulations. Thank you so much for coming up with this and sponsoring it. This is just wonderful, and it will give encouragement and support to our young people who sometimes feel like we don't look to them for leadership, that we don't give them a place to learn how to be the future. And so this will be an opportunity for all of us older folks to say, we want our young people involved. We want them to vote. We want them to work to make this world as good as it can be, because we have slipped an awful lot in recent years. And so we don't want this to be about just one person or two people or three or four. We want it to be about making Bibb County with a special focus on our high schools and a little competition with folks in decorating the cars. So y'all get together and decorate. And then we'll have some special folks to judge the cars. And then we'll award first, second, and third place prizes. And we'll probably make that announcement down at the pep rally.
Yes,
maybe.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
So that's good. You're an organizer. You're an organizer. You have your own company, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that.
I established an empowerment firm called Vidality LLC, and our primary verbs, the pillar of my company is to equip, inspire, and empower. So it's all about supporting, it's all about encouraging people in finding their voice, developing their niche. I have 4 key areas. I do public speaking, inspirational speaking, and motivational speaking, but also do support new and developing teachers in developing and honing their craft as educators.
That's great.
I work with individuals who are looking to do some things as it relates to professionalism, public speaking, resume development, things of that sort. And I also do some writing, I'll do speech writing and speech and essay development. Anything I can do, yes, ma'am, to equip, inspire, and empower. I'm on Facebook, Vidality LLC, Dominique Vidal Nichols. Either one, you can contact me, and I just look to support people in developing themselves.
That is so great. It's been wonderful having you.
Yes, ma'am. It's
here
been
today.
great being here.
It has been great. I want you to know that that there's some things that I'm going to be sharing with you concerning the new administration. We are finding, and I have a whole set of emails here that are emails that have been sent by the mayor-elect Lester Miller. And Rabbi Schlesinger and I have joined forces, and we've submitted an open records request because we were met with opposition when we asked about getting these emails. But these emails show a pattern where this new administration that hasn't been sworn in yet is already targeting certain of our department heads. And we are not going to sit by and to have this happen without you knowing about it. And then you can do whatever you feel like you need to do. But I think it's wrong. We are not going to approve positions for a new administration. We're going to let that happen in the new administration so that they can explain to the newly elected folks why they need these positions. I have a copy here of the Lexus that the mayor-elect has been talking with folks. He's not in office yet, y'all. Hadn't been sworn in yet. And you're not an elected official until you're sworn in. You're official elect. But I've got a picture here of, let me find the Lexus. They've been submitting, been talking back and forth on email about the car, purchasing a car and all of this stuff. Now, do you do all this stuff and you're not even sworn in? I dare say not. I don't think so. But anyway, it was a Lexus. So Lexus, and then we want to get rid of folks. And I'm going to tell you very soon about something that I'm trying to track down where there's a plot to try and get rid of Black department heads. And so I certainly am going to raise the roof on that. And then one that I've heard that is being targeted by some of the folks within the fire department is Chief Riggins. Now, there's no better person that I can think of in this community than Chief Riggins. And I have heard that there is a plot to try and replace Chief Riggins. And if anybody wants to know, you tell them I said it, because I have heard that and I'm trying to track it down. And if it is true, you're going to have the biggest fight on your hands that you have ever had. And if you want to stir this community up even more than it's already stirred up over a new administration that's going to try and convince people that this new administration is okay for this majority Black community, you got a lot of work cut out for you anyway. But if you think that this is going to help you to be successful, you are just as wrong as you can be. You will kill your administration if you try to get rid of Chief Riggins as the fire department, as the chief of the fire department. So you can go run and tell that I said it and I meant exactly what I said. And I'm not going to vote to approve any expenditures of money until it's time and until this administration convinces me that it's legitimate. And I did say that, and I stand on what I say. Oh, goodness. We've got about 3 minutes. And I want to let everybody know that there is funding in this community in different areas, and we'll talk about this next week, for different kinds of services in our community as a result of our problems that were brought about by COVID. So I'm going to ask someone who has some information about what additional services are available. We're going to have them to come and talk to our citizens about some things. Keep in mind, all of the events that we have talked about will be events where food will be provided. Yes. There will be food Saturday morning at Central City Park, Carolyn Creighton Park. Now, I'd still say Central City. I'll get used to Carolyn Creighton, and that's going to be dedicated pretty soon in honor of Carolyn Creighton, a a very religious lady, a very good lady. And so there are just lots and lots of things going on in the community. Remember, if Don Jr. with his ignorant self comes to this community, don't you be ignorant and give him anything to say. Stay home. Watch CNN or MSNBC. Watch the football game. You know, go support the youth activities in the community. Do something. Don't go and give him anything to use against you. Not anything at all. And please go vote. Thank you so much for tuning in this week to Ask Elaine. We appreciate you so much, and I look forward to you being here again. And thank you, my special guest,
Yes,
Mr. Reverend Nichols. I'll get it right when you say. But thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next Wednesday at 3 o'clock for another edition of Ask Elaine.